Hey everybody, Carol here. Welcome if you're new to my channel, and welcome back to those loyal subscribers. As you see, I've got some plastic cut out and I am going to do a staggered ghost swipe. Okay, which you've probably seen Julie Cutts do and some other artists. I'm doing a rainbow swipe, so I will go through the colors as I go there. The first colors, obviously, in the rainbow is red, so I made two different shades of red. One is a magenta, and the other is a metallic red that's more toward the bright, brilliant red shade. Then I used 24 karat gold by Decoart and my Saks True Flow heavy bodied white to hopefully bring up a little bit of effects between the gold and the white. I didn't use silicone, but you know that they do react sometimes, the white and the gold, so I'm hoping for a little bit of reaction. I used a white base because it just seemed like that would be the most neutral thing for 6 different colors of the rainbow. And this is actually a painting that I did a long time ago, a few years ago, that I had hanging up that I finally decided it's time to paint over it. So that's what I'm doing here. I've never done a rainbow pour of any kind. I've always wanted to do it, and I felt that a swipe would probably be the best way since you're dealing with colors all over the spectrum and not have it turn out muddy like in some kind of a pour. So that's why I decided to do a swipe. And what better time to do it than Pride Month? So here you go. You'll see that I do go over things a few times, and you know, you can do that with a swipe. If you're not happy with the way it came out, or you've got some bare areas because it didn't swipe smoothly, do it again. Don't be afraid to try it again. So I'm just adding a little more white and a little more gold, just trying to get a little bit more of definition between the different colors. I figured with the 2 red colors, I needed something to make them stand out separately. So now this is the orange, and I used vermillion, and then I took that vermillion and mixed it with some medium yellow to get a lighter shade of orange. So this way I've got 2 oranges, just like I had 2 reds. And that's what I did all along, 2 versions of the same color, plus the 24 karat gold by Decoart and white. So you'll see sometimes I have to re-swipe because I didn't add enough paint. It just didn't swipe smoothly or as far as I wanted it to go, like there. No problem. That one's much better. But you'll see as we go along that I do go back and forth as I see how things are reacting. After a while, you know, some things popped up, cells, some things sunk. So that's why I would go back if there wasn't enough definition or what have you. The color I was most concerned about is the yellow because I figured that's going to have the least amount of definition with all the colors being basically light, even the gold. But that's okay. It's a rainbow, and we've got 6 different colors here, and the whole point is to have it look like a rainbow. And that's what I'm doing. Now, the idea of the staggered swipe is, as you're seeing, I am not starting each color from this dead center, I am staggering my starting point just to add a little more interest and not just split the canvas right in half. So here we go with the yellow. See, I'm starting down there so that one side will be a longer swipe and the other side will be a shorter swipe. So for swipes, your paint should be a little more on the thin side. I usually mix my paints 1-to-1 with my medium, but sometimes you've got to adjust for consistency. And in this case, I did add probably a little more medium to some of the colors to get it a little more on the fluid, thin side. Now the yellow, I used a medium yellow and a deep yellow for the other yellow color, plus the Decoart 24 karat gold and the white. And you'll see I'm just adding a little more of that deeper yellow, just so that I have some interesting color differences there. So the medium I use is 2 parts Elmer's glue all and 1 part water. So it will be a cup of glue all, half a cup of water. Now understand that I eyeball everything. I'm not a measurer except for when we're dealing with something like resin. So I will just use an empty glue all bottle and I just pour in a certain amount of glue and then figure out what half of that amount is to add in water. Shake it up and let it sit overnight so that all the foam and the bubbles calm down and dissipate. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole lot of bubbles and things going on in your painting that you're not going to want. So I want to thank my loyal supporters, those that are hanging in and watching my videos. I really appreciate your support. It means a lot, trying to grow the channel. And, you know, it takes a little time, but it's growing. Now, this is the green. And what I used was phthalo green, which has a bit of a bluish tint to it. And then I used a grass green and added to that a little bit of medium yellow so that I would get a different, warmer shade of green with the yellow undertones, just to show some difference. And then, of course, the 24 karat gold and the white. I will list in the description below the colors and where they're from, Liquitex, Decoart, etc. So just check below the video in the drop-down description to see all of that. And there's other things in there too, like my Facebook page, my Instagram, how to contact me, my Etsy store, etc., etc. Now, and as far as my store goes, I am revamping it this month, you know, out with some of the old, in with some of the new, and that's why this entire weekend I was resining my smaller pieces, and I only have so much space, so it's either resin or paint, so I had to take a few days and try to get these finished pieces completely done so that I could put them up in my store. So hopefully by July I will have some new things in my store. In the meantime, if there's something you've seen me do and you don't see it in my store, because there's really only a few things left in there, contact me if you're interested, and I'll get back to you and let you know what the price is and what the status of the painting is, if it's been resined or varnished or what have you. So now we're moving to the blue, and what I did with that was I took some Prussian blue, mixed a little bit of phthalo blue in with it so that I had a nice dark shade, and then I took a metallic blue that I have that is of a lighter color. Then, of course, the gold and the white. And the plastic I'm swiping with, honestly, there are all kinds of things you can swipe with. It depends on what's comfortable. Some people like their swiper to be stiffer or have more weight to it. Some people rather use a paper towel, slightly dampened. I mean, all these things work. Palette knives, what have you. This plastic was actually a piece of plastic that was in the packaging of my 12 by 12 canvases, and I thought, this is perfect. It's just the right thickness and just the right amount of flexibility for what works for me comfort-wise when I'm swiping. So I just took it and I cut it into 6 pieces for the 6 colors. And that's what I've been doing and using. And, of course, I am going back and forth, touching up areas as I go. So the idea of a ghost swipe is that you kind of let the color trail off, as you see I've done, instead of taking it solidly to the end and completely covering your canvas. Instead, you've got negative space, which is the white, showing through in areas. And that's the whole idea of the ghost swipe technique. So here we are with the purple, and what I used was a metallic purple, which was a little more on the lighter side of purples, and dioxazine purple, which is on the darker side of purples, plus the gold and the white. Now, I was afraid it would be too dark, so I put a whole lot of white, and I realized after that it was just too light. It muted the purple too much. So you will see that I do work on this color to darken it up. Stay tuned till the end because I do wait till it's dried to take the pictures, and you'll see how nice it ended up drying and the different effects that came through. The gold was not super prominent, but it does show up, and there are some little cells here and there. All in all, I'm pretty pleased with the final result. of the whole piece. Oh, here I am redoing the purple. So I hope everyone's been staying well and safe during this crazy time. At least the weather's finally getting nice around here. It's nice and warm. Finally feel like summer's coming. That's better. And you'll see in the final pictures after dried, the purple got a lot of action with the gold and the white. But the red did too, so either end's got the most action, so it kind of balances out, with probably the yellow and the green having the least amount of cells and things going on, the least amount of gold popping through. As you see, I'm adding a little more gold to the orange. But I think it came out all in all bright and happy, which is what I wanted. A nice happy pour. Rainbow colors. Happy Pride Month. That's my cat agreeing. And now I'm just going back over the red too, and wherever I need to touch up. And then I did touch up the white all around after I shut the camera off. I didn't make you have to watch that. Give it a good torch. And you can see things popping up for sure. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Here is the close-up dried results. As you can see, the cells. And really pretty in the red. The gold coming through. Here's the yellow and the green. So if you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click the bell for future notifications. And until next time, please stay safe, stay well, be kind, and have a great day.